Picture this. You're sitting at a red light and a guy pulls up next to you in a 2011 Honda Civic. Faded paint, a small scratch near the rear bumper, maybe a fast food cup in the cup holder. You glance over and think, nothing. He's invisible, completely ordinary. Now, what if I told you that guy just got back from his financial advisor's office where he reviewed a $4.2 million index fund portfolio? He's not stressed about rent. He's not checking his phone for overdraft alerts. He slept perfectly last night, and he will sleep perfectly tonight. And the wild part? He chose this car. He didn't settle for it. He chose it. Meanwhile, a few cars back, there's someone in a leased BMW. Brand new, spotless. The seats still smell like the dealership. He makes $250,000 a year, and he is quietly, privately, one bad month away from a serious financial problem. His lifestyle has eaten everything his income ever gave him. Two cars, two completely different relationships with money, and only one of them has actually won. We've been taught, not in school, not explicitly, but by everything around us, that wealth looks a certain way. It has a certain sound, a certain parking spot. And because of that, most of us have been measuring the wrong thing our whole lives. We've been measuring the appearance of wealth instead of wealth itself. There's actually a term for the guy in the BMW. Researchers call it an under-accumulator of wealth, a UAW, someone whose net worth is dramatically lower than what their income should have produced. And it's more common than you think, especially as income goes up. Because here's what almost nobody talks about. The more money you make, the louder the pressure gets. The pressure to look the part, to upgrade, to signal that you've arrived somewhere. And that pressure is not coming from your bank account, it's coming from something much older in your brain. There's a book, you've probably heard of it, called The Millionaire Next Door. Two researchers spent years studying actual millionaires, not celebrities, not tech founders, ordinary, quietly wealthy Americans. And what they found completely shattered the image most people carry. 61% of people earning over $250,000 a year drive Toyotas, Hondas, or Fords. Not Porsches, not Range Rovers, not the cars you see in the "I finally made it" montages online. Regular cars from regular dealerships, often bought used and kept for years. And this wasn't because these people were cheap or miserable. It was because they had figured something out that took most people decades to understand. Every dollar spent performing wealth is a dollar that can't become wealth. Think about it in real numbers for a second. A lease on a luxury car might run you $900 a month. That's $10,800 a year. If instead you invested that same amount at a conservative 8% annual return over 20 years, you're looking at somewhere around $530,000, $500,000, from one decision about one car. But here's where psychology enters the room. The reason people lease the BMW isn't irrational exactly, it's deeply human. We are wired, genuinely wired, to seek status, social belonging, the feeling that others see us as successful. That's not vanity, that's evolution. For most of human history, being low status in your group had real survival consequences. The problem is that those ancient instincts are now being exploited by car companies, by credit card companies, by entire industries built around selling you the feeling of having arrived, while quietly making sure you never actually do. Here's the reframe that changes everything, and I want you to sit with this for a second. Looking wealthy, in today's world, is actually a liability. It's not just about the money you spend, it's about what visibility costs you in ways you don't even see. Cybersecurity researchers have a term called whaling. It's when hackers specifically target high net worth individuals, people who appear to have money. Social engineers do the same thing. So do toxic social dynamics. When people know you have money, expectations shift, requests increase, boundaries get tested. The guy in the Honda? Nobody's asking him to pick up the check for the whole table. Nobody's sending him a business pitch. Nobody assumes he has something to take. Stealth wealth isn't about being ashamed of your success. It's about understanding that financial peace has a quiet, invisible quality to it. The people who have the most security often look the most ordinary, and that's not a coincidence. That's a strategy. It's what Thomas Stanley, one of the Millionaire Next Door researchers, called being a prodigious accumulator of wealth, someone who accumulates significantly more than their income would suggest, not because they earn more, because they protect more. They spend intentionally, not performatively. So what does this actually look like in real life? Because I don't want to just give you a philosophy, I want to give you something you can use this week. First, do an honest audit of what you're spending on appearance. Not judgment, just curiosity. Your car, your clothes, your apartment. Ask yourself, am I spending this because it genuinely makes my life better, or because I want to be seen a certain way? Both can be true, just be honest about which is driving the decision. Second, shift the goal from looking wealthy to becoming wealthy. That sounds simple, but it requires actively resisting a culture that rewards the performance of success. It means being okay with your neighbor not knowing what your investment account looks like. It means finding quiet pride in a number on a screen rather than a reaction on someone's face. Third, if you haven't started yet, or if you started and stopped, the only move is a simple one. Automate something small into an index fund. $20, $50. The amount matters less than the habit. Because the guy in the Honda didn't wake up with $4.2 million. He woke up for years making the boring, invisible, completely unglamorous decision to invest instead of impress. There's something almost peaceful about this idea when you really let it land. The goal was never the car. The goal was freedom, time, the ability to say no to things that don't serve you, the ability to choose. And those things, real freedom, real options, they don't make noise. They don't turn heads at a red light. They just sit quietly in an account somewhere, growing. You don't have to be extreme about it. You don't have to drive a rusted-out car or never enjoy anything. That's not the point. The point is to stop letting the performance of wealth get in the way of building it. Because the most powerful thing you can do with money is something most people will never see you do. And that's okay. You'll know.